special felt like it was just yesterday. But regardless, we are on to new things and we are back with our amazing CenterKick Weekend review. But before we bring our guest on board, let's go on a quick break. So welcome back, and we have with us the amazing Bob. How are you doing? How are you feeling?
I'm good, and you?
I think I'm feeling fine.
It's a good already, and yeah.
It's hot. I don't even know why I dressed this way, but I mean, I'll manage.
Well, it's the tropics, and Hammerson is looking around the atmosphere, so obviously we'll have the change of weather. But I think in a few weeks' time we'll have a little bit of fresh air and rain. Okay. So yeah, to get better. Yeah,
so I know you as Bob, but please introduce yourself in 10 seconds to the audience. Pitch yourself. What do you do? Who is Bob?
Okay, my name is Bob, and I'm a sport journalist and sport content creator. I do have sports, basically football, baseball, rugby, and I'm still looking to explore other sports too.
You did mention that documentation part.
Okay. Oh, yes. I said sport content creation. So documentaries, analysis are part of it.
All right, so let's head into today's business. We have a lot to talk about, but let's start off with what I consider to be the header for last week's event. Okay. Coming back to Nigeria, we saw the official unveiling of the new Super Eagles coach.
Yeah,
we saw a lot of quotes, trend, and all of that. Let me get your favorite quote from what he said.
He said that it's not about that Nigeria is a big country. It's not about the players. It's not about the team. It's not about him.
Okay.
It's about them qualifying for playing the next 6 games, winning all, and qualifying for the World Cup. And he just said something about that he's been fan of Nigeria when he was younger. Well, I think he's not lying. He's not lying because look at it: 1995, 1992, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We were actually top guns in the world. Yeah. At some point, we were ranked 5th in the world rank, and that's the highest an African country has ever gone. So it's very possible for him to have been a big fan of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Looking at 1993, we won the Under-17 World Cup. 1996, we went all the way to Atlanta, and did what we did. So it's very possible that he was a big fan of Nigeria, but it sounds like a cliche line. We know what players
the market.
Yeah.
All right. So we saw him. Of course, his trip was cut short. He went to visit the Chan Eagles in camp. Although we'll talk more about that later on. But let's head into the Super Eagles player. We saw amazing performance last week. The likes of Victor Osimhen, he scored from the spot. Ademola Lookman, they played at home against Napoli. Of course, a very notorious enemy.
Yeah.
Your enemy is my enemy. I hope you know so.
Something like that.
Yeah. And also Moses Simon. Of course, it wasn't enough for them to get the full point away. At least the point was shared. We saw Cyril Deza and Olaina's performance. Yes, very amazing. That 100-minute goal line clearance.
Yeah, I think Olaina this season has been a revelation. It's for me. I feel like when it comes to the Super Eagles squad as a whole, he's been the revelation of the season for me.
Okay.
Because he knows what to do. I'm playing from the right back, someone that we know his quality, we know what he could do, we know what he could offer. But the fact that he at this point in time is ranking one of the best right backs in the world right now,
especially in the Premier League.
And when I say the Premier League, I also say the world because that's like one of the best leagues in the world.
Top
leagues in the world. So and he's doing it on a consistent basis.
And that goal line clearance was like a back-to-back performance.
Yeah, no, well, you cannot take something off him. The team is doing well.
Yeah.
And so someone is quality. The team is doing well. It's obviously going to do well. And since he already has this thing in him, he's just adding, sauce to the team, and it's booming. So I feel he's amazing. He's amazing in all ramifications, and he should just continue that stride.
Yeah, and let's not forget Polo Natru. Of course, his goal wasn't enough to end the point at pace. That was a beautiful header from him.
Yeah, he hasn't really had the chances this season, right?
Yeah.
He came off the bench against Manchester United.
He hasn't even played enough.
He played enough.
Yeah, just 5 matches.
So for him to actually get that goal, despite the result, is a confidence booster. But I think on an individual basis, the confidence booster. But the team is not entirely doing well.
Okay,
Bottom of the league and so But on a personal level, you need to whenever you have the chance to do what you have to do,
You should do
it well because it's not just about the team. It's about you as a person
also,
because you're selling your stocks too. So for him to be able to get that goal amidst the crisis at Southampton at the moment,
going through.
yeah, I think it was a good one for him getting on the score sheets. And yes,
amazing.
It's superb. If you ask me.
So the coach is watching.
I think Chile has a whole lot on his plate.
Yeah.
Trust me, he has a whole lot on his plate because at this point in time, there are other players that are not even in the Super Eagles squad that are doing so well.
Yeah.
Christian Tsuzuche.
Yeah.
This is something we get off against Barcelona.
Yes, of course.
We have other players across the world that are outstanding at this point in time. So I think it's a wonderful headache for the coach.
Yeah.
Ahead of the first international break in March. It's a whole lot for him. And he has to just stamp his authority. He said already that he recognizes the quality in the squad. So it's going to be a headache for him to choose his players.
Yeah.
But just like every other coach he's had, Roganoro, Apicero, it's the same thing that he's going to have.
Yeah.
And he has whoever he chooses, he has to get the best out of them. And everything that he has to do in position for the World Cup. So,
but do you think that World Cup qualification is attainable? Of course, we saw that the NFF gave him a 2-year deal.
Yeah, 2-year deal.
Yeah, so I feel that we should not entirely judge him by the World Cup qualification.
Well, football is very unfair.
Yeah.
Football is unfair. Results mask performances. So a team can play so well, but don't get the results.
Definitely.
And the fans don't care about the performance. All they want is the result because we all know what the fans do. The whole banter that cuts across the fan bases. But for a national team like Nigeria, and I'm proud to appointing Eric. We had this win of controversy that we might not go to the World Cup, and it's still very strong. So putting that pressure on his head, it's a bit unfair because using 6 matches as an ultimatum to go to the World Cup and it's resting on his head. I feel if you can get the team playing very well and get the maximum results, World Cup or no World Cup, it doesn't matter.
At least we prepare ahead of AFCON.
Ahead of AFCON 2025, which is this year, and in common competition. But he has a whole lot to prove. He has a whole lot to prove because there are so many stories. Why didn't we go for an indigenous coach outside Africa? Why are we going for an African coach when we have coach in Nigeria?
Yeah.
But you also understand that whether local, whether international, there is one thing that makes someone who he is the qualities.
Yeah.
And for the Malian national team, he did well with them to a certain level. And who knows, Nigeria might be a step further for him to prove his worth. So I think for him, Nigeria is like a way to prove himself.
Yeah.
And also, it's a whole lot for him as a matter of fact. So I don't like the pressure, but let him just do what he has to do. If it's not good, we'll see.
Yeah,
if it's good, all of us are here now.
Yeah,
all of us are here.
We'll see, but I mean, I'm personally intrigued by his charisma. He feels like someone that knows what he can do, confidence in himself. But let's head into our next discussion. Yes, we saw the CAF Confederation Cup and also the Champions League the group stage come to an end. Amazing performances all around. But let's start with the one that concerns us the most. Let's talk about the Confederation Cup and our solo representative at that level, Enyimba. Let's start from their last performance.
Enyimba as a unit, as a team, they woke up very late into the competition. Yes, you look at quality. You look at team coordination. You look at experience. Now this thing cuts across a whole lot when it comes to competitions. How well prepared you are tells your story getting into every competition.
Yeah, of course.
And now we've known the level of the Nigerian league, all the tiers of the Nigerian league, the MPFL, the NNL, and the NLO. We know how the organization is. We are doing better in 2024, 2025 than we did in 2007, 2017, 18, 19. Yeah. So it's been we've tried to upgrade on our performances and all-round coordination, but you cannot. But it's not up to the level of the North African sides or the Southern Africans. For the last 7 years, they've had a very good league system. They have very good coordination. They've done the best they could, to put everything sports in its right proportion. That cannot be said around Nigeria. We've tried.
Yeah, we're
upgrading, but you cannot compare it to
other.
So Enyimba as a team, Enyimba as a unit that represented Nigeria on the continental level, when pitted against Zamalek, Al Masry, Black Bulls, well, they were like, for me, I felt like they weren't in their 100% going to that competition. But yeah, we thought that at least they could finish second after Zamalek of Egypt. We thought, but on paper, when we look at the Egyptian Premier League and the MPFL, there is a very large margin.
Yeah, wide apart.
They're wide apart. So, realistically, our margin and Zamalek were head above Nigeria. That's Enyimba.
Yeah.
So, obviously, the league table it just gives you a picture representation of the quality and where they stand in all ramifications. Because I feel like Enyimba, the first game against Zamalek
was impressive.
It was impressive, but the result wasn't it. Now, coming back home against Al Masry, they conceded first. They had to fight for a draw. Okay, now they went over to Mozambique. Now, to me, that game was to go get all 3 points. But guess what? They lost. They had to come win at home. And that's a problem. Away from home, make the results count. Because that's where those maximum points come. Because at home, you have the fan support. You have every support that you need at home. But you cannot get results away. It's a big problem. And for Enyimba, that was a problem for them. And we could see how the league table panned out. We're having 4 across the 2 tiers of the CAF competition. We have 4 Egyptian teams.
Very, very,
4 South African teams.
Yeah.
And that now brings back to what I was saying earlier about quality, coordination, and every single thing. Egypt and Nigeria are far apart currently.
Very, very.
So I think that's what happened. For me, but they tried. That was their best. I think that was their best. At least the only Nigerian team to represent Nigeria that far. Yeah. But it's not the best. We need to do more.
And then, of course, we were almost at the expense of losing our 4 spots as a country in the rounds.
Yeah, thank you for Mali.
Yeah, thank you for Mali.
Now, that brings us back to the calculation, the Nigerian calculation system. Okay, if A no win, they win lose.
And we calculate a lot.
I think it's a problem that has been here for decades. At least the last 2 decades, it's been a problem. We depend on others to qualify when we have the results in our hands most times. And it's not a very good thing. It's something that we need to change. And that starts from the grassroots. From the NNO.
Yeah.
It starts from the grassroots. It should be a progressive kind of thing down the tiers of all Nigerian major sports. Football, what have you? Currently we have the cricket, but we need that progress. And it starts from the basics. So as I just feel like there is a whole lot to go back to on the drawing board, and they should, obviously.
All right. So looking at the table on the screen for the CAF Confederation Cup in the quarterfinals, which team do you think? Or let me ask you this way: do you think Zamalek will be able to retain the title? Looking at the performances, for me, judging from their performance when they came to Nigeria to play, of course, against Enyimba, I feel that this title may not be theirs to retain. But let me get your opinion. Which team do you think? Which are your top contenders for this title?
Well, I think we say less about Simba of Tanzania. They have been one of the standout teams in this, both in the local league and also in the continent. Simba of Tanzania are doing so well, right? We have RS Bakende. They won the title 3 years ago here in Rio. Also, in that list, we have Zamalek of Egypt. So for me, those 3 teams are top contenders. Those 3 are top contenders. Zamalek are not entirely bad. They're not entirely bad. They are good. They're a good side. But we have having Harris back in that mix, and Simba. Simba has been there like in the last 3 years. They've been in the continent. They've been doing so well. So I feel like they have a chance this year.
Season.
So I'll give them, thumbs up, a go to the title.
All right, let's push further to talk about the Champions League quarterfinals qualified teams. We saw Orlando Pirates was a shocker for me. Playing in the same team with the defending champions, Al Ali, I feel that they came prepared. They came with all the energy. And then, of course, they defeated Al Ali at home. When I watched that match, it felt like the odds were against the Egyptians. But, of course, we saw that there were some times that the referee did not give them Al Ali the needed calls. But what do you think?
Well, I didn't want to talk about officiating here. I really don't want to talk about officiating here. I want to talk about the quality.
Okay.
Earlier, I said something about the northern and southern, parts of the continent doing well when it comes to football development, and not just football development, sports development in the continent. So I feel like Egypt, they have 4 contenders.
Yeah, so.
South Africa has 4, 2 in the Champions League, 2 in the Confederation Cup. So that result to me wasn't shocking. It wasn't a shocking result in any way. It was just, 2 elephants fighting. And you could expect the grass to suffer. Yeah, so these are like 2 giants in Africa. 2 giant leagues in Africa. Yeah. The Egyptian Premier League and also the South African League. And this is something that we are looking forward to. We need more countries to produce more competition. Now look at Europe. You have France, we have Germany, we have England, we have Spain. And sometimes we have Portugal in the mix. Though not very strong, but so now you look at it, we have 5 leagues in Europe that are doing exceptionally well. So if Orlando Pirates can do it, that's a good one for Africa. That's a good one for CAF competitions as a whole. So to me as a person, I like the fact that Orlando Pirates went all out to do what they did against Ali, and we're going to expect more drama.
Yeah.
More drama in the quarterfinals and
semi-finals,
all through to the finals.
All through to the finals.
But for me, the standout teams in the group stage from the CAF Champions League, I will not write off Ahali. I will not write off Mamelodi Sundowns, though Sundowns were a little bit disappointing.
Champions League, yeah.
Champions League. Contrary to their performance in other seasons, there was a little bit of twist here. So I'll give it to the 2 Sundowns and Orlando Pirates that are doing well.
Yeah.
Ahali of Egypt, it's almost their inheritance. And we also look at Al Hilal, but I don't really want to talk about Al Hilal. We have pyramids.
Yeah.
We have pyramids of a pyramid of Egypt there. We also have Algiers. We have experience. Since they go, experience went all the way to the semi-final.
Okay.
3 seasons ago, 4 seasons ago, all the way to the semi-final. So these are tough competition. I think the CAF Champions League is like the toughest competition there, and you can see the number of the quality of teams that are displayed to go all out to knock about. It's a tough one if you ask me. I don't really have a particular team in mind but because we have like 3-4 good teams there, very good teams as well.
All right, so let's progress into the January transfer window.
Okay.
I would love to start with the NPFL.
Sure.
Some teams of which we are expecting by now should have unveiled a couple of new players are yet to. What do you make of that?
Well, I think everything still boils down to organization. I know a lot of teams have done plenty of recruitment. A lot of teams ahead of the circumstances of the season. But as the Nigerian system is, we are still lacking in terms of media publicity and organization. They have tried in recent years, in the last couple of seasons, 2-3 seasons, they've tried, but we still need more. And you look at the English transfer window, we see how professional it is when it comes to the media and when it comes to the all-round, activities. Yeah. So we know that player A is being scouted by team A. Yeah. And now we follow the journey. You can literally follow the journey, the progress of these players as they are going to. Okay, look at Mamouche in Frankfurt going over to Man City. We knew when the interest was. We could literally see when the interest was established. You could see when he went for the and even the farewell. Yeah. So it's detailed. Yes. But we don't have that yet in the NPFL. So we need those media content in the NPFL, but teams already, I can tell you for sure, have recruited a whole lot.
Okay.
Local teams like in the NPFL have recruited a whole lot of players, but I think maybe they are waiting within the week because this weekend we'll have the big one.
Yeah.
The league will resume, so within the week they will announce. But there have been a couple of friendlies ongoing,
of course,
and those players are on trials.
Okay.
Right. So I think since it's we know our system works, they'll actually get the best of the best.
Yeah.
Right, and then do the announcement.
All right. Let's go to talk about the Chan tournament.
Yeah.
Of course, we saw that few days to the draw, the date for the tournament proper was being rescheduled to August. I would love to get your opinion because I feel it's still a win-win situation. Yes, they rounded it around the facilities not being in place or not yet ready to host the tournament. But I feel it's still like a win for us. Our next season, our next half of the season is starting. And for these teams to fully express themselves, to fully fight for their points, they need their key players. Back, of course, they were going to go for the competition in February. So that would have meant that these key players for these teams would have been missing in action. And that would really affect the performance in total. What do you think of that postponement?
Well, it's just like you said, it's a win-win for the Nigerian side and other countries. It's a win-win for them. But at this level and this point in time, CAF have set the standard very high. The last AFCON, right, which is the biggest CAF competition, was second only to the FIFA World Cup in terms of organization, in terms of off-the-pitch entertainment and on-the-pitch facilities, the officiating, a whole lot was put in place, and you could see that CAF have done tremendously well. So there are things that they shouldn't do. Before giving the slots to Uganda, Tanzania, and Kenya, right?
Yes. The facilities
should have been cross-checked.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you see a competition, you should look at the timing too. That favor all the leagues across the country, if possible. Set the African leagues in a certain pedestal that everyone starts and finish at a certain time limit, so that CAF can do their thing. But yes, it is what it is. For me, I think it's a good thing for them to postpone it to that time because it will give everybody a fair chance to have everybody prepare, and now it also gives the hosts to ample time to get things in place. Because if you could have AFCON at that level, Chan should also be at that level. Right?
Yeah.
So if we have the organization top notch, the quality in each of the teams should be top notch too.
Yeah.
I said earlier, CAF has set the standard very high. So this is time for them to work and enjoy the fruit of their labor. Because the work that they did in Ivory Coast, Abidjan, and all the places that hosted the 2024 AFCON, it spoke well for them as a body, and they were highly recommended and commended, and you could see the praises across the whole world. You could see the streams, an increased number of streams that only the World Cup could rival. So people tune in from South America to watch AFCON, from Asia, from Australia, and you could see that they increase, in every single thing, even the TV coverage, $100 million. That's the highest that had ever been in an African competition.
Okay.
So they need to get that standard very high, and for me it's a fair one postponing it. But next time they should do better in considering all factors before fixing this tournament.
Before we move aside from the Chan tournament, let's look at the groupings.
Okay.
Do you consider any of the groups a group of death?
Well, if you ask me about a group of death, it has to be the group that has Senegal and Nigeria. Obviously, because you look at Senegal,
they're the defending champions.
And in all tiers of all the football tiers, on the under 18, under 17, under 20, Olympics, and the national team, in the last 5 years, they've been amazing. Now, and also in Nigeria, we know what we did at the AFCON last year, and we know the qualities that are in the team A and also team B too, the quality. So I'll give it to them.
But that group has just 4 participants. The rest of the groups have 5.
Yeah, well, it's Africa. Over 50 countries in Africa, and we know what it means. Yeah, in some groups there will be an increased number of games. True, which is not entirely fair, right? It's not entirely fair, but it is what it is. Just like since we have the number of those number of countries in Africa, we have to, and the competition opens to that up to that number. I think in the fact it's not fair on some teams. It also gives every team some chance, like Group B, that chance to push of qualification. So it's a two-way thing. There are big advantages and also big disadvantages. But the competition is a competition. That's why you have a whole number of over 25 players registered.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
It's fair. Maybe in future tournament they should make other groups like up to Group 5, like Group E. Yeah. So I will have other teams. Yeah. So make up so that it can be an equal. If it's in all 4, we have all 4 across board. And we can, all 5. If it's all 6. Just know how to play around. Yeah. So we can get everyone playing equal number of games, and so that we don't have more teams playing more games than the others and stuff.
I am very certain that you're going to be excited about this next topic of discussion. Okay. But before we go deep into it, let's go on a break. Alright, so welcome back. The NWFL. First of all, I want to pay cognizance to what our last guest on the previous special talked about. He did say, for a matter of fact, and I think from what I saw, I attest to what he said. He said that the NWFL are kind of like, in terms of organization, content-wise and all of that. And the NPFL, a speaking point, is learning. We saw the kind of unveiling that came from the NWFL teams. Remo Stars, Edo Queens, Rivers United. Amazing. What did you make of that unveiling?
What, for Nigeria?
Yes, the NWFL.
No, I'm saying for Nigeria to have such an unveiling for the female football. To me, I felt that was beautiful. It's not just the NWFL, the NNL. Now, I've been itching to say this, and this is an opportunity for me to say it. Before the start of the NNL season, all the clubs had branded NNL footballs. All the clubs.
Amazing.
And they had this media sensitization.
Yeah, sensitization.
Which was okay for me. And you could see what the media officers of almost all the NNL clubs, even the clubs in the north, are doing. It's beautiful. Let's take it back to our Premier League. Most clubs are still using Bundesliga football for NPFL games.
Wow. It's sad. I mean,
look at it. The Bundesliga ball, for what's of the sponsors, I would maybe towards the show, in the show I'll talk about it, but we don't have, even if there is, these guys don't use these balls. Now, when you are at the, when the game starts, before the referee picks up the ball, when the ball is on display, we have the podium that houses
the NPFL,
that shows the NPFL,
yes.
And on the match day ball is the Bundesliga ball. What's that? What are you telling investors? What are you telling the fans? What are you telling people? Even the producers of those balls looking at their ball being displayed freely. On Nigerian setting.
No sponsorship.
Nothing. It's just very free advertisement for them. And I wonder, why are we doing this? So for the female,
the NPFL, they've introduced their new ball that would start with the.
How many teams have those balls?
Okay, right.
I'm telling you what the NNL did. I know. I went to training to over the teams. They had over 7 balls, all branded NNL. With like that's they sell the sponsorship, with the company, and they got all their balls branded. So if they have over 30 teams in the NNL, 4 groups, I think 10, 11, 12 teams in each of the groups. So close to 40 teams in the NNL, and every team has an NNL ball.
Yeah.
That tells you how far they've gone when it comes to organization. And they also urge every team to stream their games in the best of ways they can. And almost all the teams stream their games. So there's an upgrade from last season or 2 seasons ago in the NNL. How about the NPFL? We need to do more. Fine, teams cannot stream matches. We have one TV this thing. But how many games do we see? Do you understand?
Of the ones that are even supposed to be
streamed, right? Now back to the NWFL. That unveiling was top notch. Coming from a Nigerian setting, which I believe that they will do better. It was top notch. You could see there was this story, and they also made sure that these ladies had their own media story to tell.
Remo Stars.
Remo Star from Rivers United.
The final yesterday.
Now you could see her story in her own way. So you could see her story from her lens.
Yeah, very, very true.
And also the clubs too did their best to promote all their players.
All their players, of course.
At least not all the club, but most of the big Edo Queens, Rivers United, even Nasara. Oh my God! I think for me, MPFL should learn from these guys. And obviously, it's a good one for me for Nigerian football, sphere, that we have teams, we have competitions doing this. Look at Liga Lagos, what they could do. That was not. It was one, a small competition. But they did something beautiful. So I commend what the NWFL are doing. I think they should build on this. And branding has been a thing for Nigerian setting when it comes to sports, football basically. Branding has been a thing, but if they can up their game, whether it's the NWFL, the NNL, the NPFL, good thing is that we have these companies that can do these things. They can help with the branding to give the league what it is. But we know the whole sentiment that surrounds all these brands and all these companies, these organizations. So the NPFL should learn from the NWFL and also the NNL. So I'll give some votes to the NWFL. That was a nice one, and they should do more than that. Invest more in that, because we need as fans. We need all these things to pop up on our screens.
And I must also accolade the Remo Stars ladies. They did amazing. They had a media sensitization for the ladies ahead of the season, and we saw some amazing guests for that event. I feel that we need to do more of this, because it helps the players also prepare, not just because you're not just selling the team, as you did mention in the course of our conversation. You're selling yourself as a person.
Exactly.
What are you putting out? What are the people seeing? You need to be there, not just as a player. Yes, we support and we love you as a player for the team, but we also want to see you as a person. So I feel we should do more of that.
Sorry to go. I spoke with an agent some time ago about a player. Not my player, about a very, very fine player. What the person told me was, I need her to get a social media game up. Separate your personal life from professional life. So if you can get on all your socials, regulate what you post. Put on your games, few highlights, reels of yourself as a football player. Market yourself as a football player. We need to see that on your socials, so that if I visit your page, I see, oh, she's a footballer. Now, the content will tell me that she's a footballer. Do you understand? Now, and I saw what he said. So I think I related to the player. And so for them to have this, this media situation, it's something that they need. Because, we've done so much with the male side of the game. But the female side, we need to tell them this. And trust me, if we're not careful, female football in Nigeria would be more marketable in terms of in a whole lot than the male side when it comes to publicity and branding. They will do so well because the female power. So to be
aesthetically pleasing.
Exactly. So if they can put some touch on them, trust me, they will drive a lot of market to themselves than even the male side of. And it's football, it's investment, so it's a good thing that they did that when the whole media gigs. So
of course. Then the NNL. One of the things I emphasize, and I say a lot, I feel that we need to go back to traditional publicity for games. I'm saying this because I saw Sporting Lagos, of course, in Lagos. Sporting Lagos is obviously in Lagos. The name already sells itself. But we saw them go for community outreach ahead of their game, the last game they had on Sunday.
Okay.
So I feel that it's one of the things we put down. Yeah, we have, not everybody is available online. We don't have every person.
Yeah.
As much as we want to have the youth come out and sit out or sit out for games, we still need the elderly people. We need our uncles, we need our aunties, we need our fathers and mothers to come watch the match. But what do you think about this traditional publicity?
Well, for me, it's very important. It's a very important thing that we've not really taken into consideration. Now, I want to use England example, though, like that's like the hallmark of football or sports entertainment, not entertainment, football per se. It's what every team does. Well, maybe within the week, outside their training, they go to the communities. They got most teams have their foundations, but they still go to the streets. They go to schools and meet young children, right?
Yeah.
So imagine a Marcus Rashford, for instance, Cole Palmer coming to your school today and take pictures with you.
And then drop a couple of merchandise here and
for
then,
you. Now, that will prompt his father, that boy's father, to come and watch Cole Palmer in the Premier League play.
Yeah, of course, definitely.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Or kids in the street, they go there, do one or two things for them. That will prompt that body, or they can even bring that body to the stadium. That body that controls those children, to the stadium, and they watch them, so that the footballers marry the community. Now that is what we are lacking here.
Yeah.
How many people, if you ask a random person on the street, name 5 players that are playing for Core United, they will not know even 2. Trust me, they will not even know even 2.
True.
Because it's just football and they mind their business in football.
Yeah.
There is no community awareness.
Definitely.
Now, it would be a good thing to say, Core United wants to go, for instance, because it's a home team, wants to go to a school, let's say
University of Wales.
Okay, not even University of Wales, let's go to secondary school, a public secondary school. So they make an announcement, we are coming on this day, and they make preparations for it. Good media presence there. They go there, right? We have a lesson of wisdom done.
Mm-hmm.
Coming to, take pictures with a random kid, presents him with a merchandise or his jersey, and take pictures. That will go a long way to tell that kid that, you are bringing yourself down to their level. And they understand that, okay, this is our thing.
Our thing, This wants us.
Do you understand? So you bring football to the community. So it's not just some high level thing. You are bringing it back home, so that there is this cohesion that happens between this brand and this brand, this sector and this sector, this community and this community. So it not just kids, right? Other sector, like it has
even
to
in the market.
Even in the market, thank you. Even in the market,
definitely.
Now football games happen here most of the weekends.
Yeah.
On Sundays, which in this side of the world, Sundays like resting after church. What do you do again?
Majority of the persons
just stay in the house.
Yeah.
So if you can have that interaction between these football teams and the local community, they will see that there will be a high drive. Of the community wanting to participate.
Yes.
In what the local team is doing. And trust me, if you go to a Sporting Lagos game, you see the turnout of fans compared to other locations. Aside the north, that we have good numbers. But down south here, how many fans come to the stadium? Okay, the point is they use the Ghost of Public International Stadium, like the capacity. Fans are only concentrated in the VIP area on match days. The other area of the stadium
I don't even think we make up to like 5,000.
I don't think we make up to 5,000.
Yeah.
On a match day. And it's a 30,000 capacity stadium. I'm not saying they should fill the stadium, but we should have a good number.
Yeah, at least.
The way should be heard.
Yeah.
When Casablanca came to Uyo to play a game against Enyimba. No, Enyimba actually. Was it Ranger Enyimba? I had a conversation with one of the players. He said, "Why is the stadium empty?"
Okay.
He told me that if we come to Casablanca, before they go on the pitch, the stadium is vibrating.
Of course, definitely.
And is it lying? You see pictures, you see videos that before you step on the pitch, the walls of the dressing room is shaking. Because fans there are wild. And on the away team, you are scared. You are scared going onto that pitch.
Yeah.
Because the fan pressure, like it's loud. And
by the time they start booing you,
before the come on, like before you even trap ball, the pass ball, you know the state, because some of the shit.
Would you not say that was one of the reasons Ayimba was like kind of because
how many Nigerian teams have gone to North Africa to get a point?
I mean,
no, tell me. Or how many teams? Okay, South Africa went. But look at South African league. Look at the numbers that they have in the league. Almost all their league games. Now, not all the stadium gets a full capacity, but they have good numbers.
Yeah.
That cannot be said for most Nigerian teams. So we need that, like that publicity, that community engagement. We need it massively, and it's something that we need to do going forward.
All right. Okay. I feel that I'm just hoping that this information or conversation gets to the right authority, because I feel this is one of the things. I mean, that majority of other things that needs to be put in place, but this is one of the things that I feel that is even less expensive.
It's the least.
It's less expensive.
Okay, it's like when Akanenyen did a trophy parade.
Okay.
When they won the league 2021, they paraded around the city metropolis, and you could see footage. I was live at the parade briefly, but you could see the crowd they pushed because they won the league.
Yeah.
Fine, they're not doing well, but you could still you can still get this crowd behind you.
And that could in a way encourage them.
The last one of the season was the first time I saw the Pabio Stadium on a league match getting full capacity.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 2021. The stadium was filled up to the brim. Right?
That's impressive.
So we need so where are these fans? Where are they hiding? They're in town.
They're in town. Very much in town. Less busy.
So get them to engage with the club and would go along with. Don't scare the fans away. That's what makes the team what it is.
Yeah. Very, very true. All right, let's wrap up with this. The MPFL resumes this weekend.
Okay.
This week. What's your most anticipated game of the week?
I think that has to be our Core United Remo Stars. Yes, because that's table toppers and bottom dwellers. Aqua United. But I think what is exciting is the return of Kenny Boboye, which is a good one for Aqua United. They won the league with him in 2021, and we know his pedigree when it comes to the Nigerian Premier League. And and Aqua United so far they've added some players yet to be announced into their ranks. They had a couple of friendlies, within the week against Akpabio FC from the NNL, Abia Warriors also. So it's Dakada and also this thing. Rivers United. So they've had good preparations, and they've brought some players to the round, which they are yet to announce them. But I think it's one to watch. They played the reverse fixture last year where they lost 2-1, to Remo Stars. So it's a good one for them to. This system is at home. Yeah. How well can Kenny Boboye get his boys to start off the second stanza of the campaign? Can Aqua make it? Introduce themselves with a banger, in this second stanza. So these are things to watch out for. And having Kenny Boboye in the mix, adds more spice to the entire meal. So I think for me, that's like the most interesting fixture, and fans will be looking out to see what Kennedy is bringing back to the MPFL with Aqua United. And can Aqua United, with their new additions yet to be announced, make a statement going to the second stanza of the league. They're still 19th. Remo are first in the league, so it's not going to be one-sided game, right? Aqua they're a big side.
Yeah, Remo.
So it's going to be it's going to be very, very competitive. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to that fixture. I miss other fixtures in this weekend's opener.
All right. Okay. So thank you very much. We call that a wrap for today. Thank you so much for bringing yourself, for being available for today's episode. What would you say to the fans?
Well, I'll keep watching CenterKick. I'll keep following CenterKick. Subscribe to all their socials: Twitter, X, Facebook, Instagram, on YouTube, and also on TikTok. They are doing an amazing job. And,
thank you so much.
It's
I feel happy. Beautiful. Feel happy. Yeah. Thank you so much. I feel good. So what do you make of my person? You don't have anything to say about AJ?
Okay, fine. AJ is a wonderful personality. AJ is a wonderful personality. She's a whole lot. Having to
a whole lot can mean that I'm drama.
But I think
like something nice.
I think it's just a rabbit of you are talented.
Okay.
You are beautiful. And are you single?
I don't know.
Okay, something like that.
Maybe.
But she's a bag of talent,
yeah,
and
thank you so much.
I'm happy to be in your presence.
Odogu, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Give it to me now.
It was nice having you on today's episode. Please, like you said, please follow us across all our social media handles. And if you are yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, please do so now. Click on the notification button too, and also please subscribe and follow, like, share, comment. Thank you so much. Until we have you on our next episode. See you. Ciao.